All right. I never did a featured video about a dumb commenter of the day, but I'm not going to totally call this person dumb, but call them on a little BS. Don't necessarily hate them, but in a sense, invite them to rethink, what they say without censoring them. But I'm going to give you a synopsis of what I wrote. In response to me, I call leftist dictators, but okay, if it's any consolation to this guy or anybody else that sees this or listens to him, I happen to think also that there's people on the far right that are dictators and don't give a damn about anybody else and think the world revolves around them. And I always preach that there's a divide in the left and the right. Divides right in half. The right is a divide, and you can have a left and a right of the right, and then the left has a left and a right of the left, and each side of each is better than others. Some people are not too bad, and some of them are real assholes. But anyway, getting a little bit blunt with this dude here. Anyway, well, see, smartass fancies himself as, I find myself a leftist dictator, or you find yourself a leftist dictator. That means that you find yourself, or do you mean you consider yourself a leftist dictator? Anyway, and I don't think the whole world revolves around me. Okay, well, if you don't think the whole world revolves around you, then good for you, you know what I mean? I hope you're a better part of the left if it's of any consolation to you, but I had a tendency, maybe I was being a little blunt, and I will consider revising my ultimatum, although I'm not apologizing for it. I can call it a little blunt. I said, I say this because if they want to dictate, I can be blunt, but I'm not apologizing, but I can revise it in some cases to be nicer if I choose to do so. I tell them, you can try to dictate, but you got nothing behind you to enforce it. I indicate that there's a smart-ass kid that still lives with his mother. He's in a room in mother's house, and my indication is go get out of the parents' house and get an income and get life experiences with different types of people while you still know everything, and you'll see that you'll see who gives a damn about you one way or the other. Be careful who or what you worship, to be fair, because they don't give a damn about you. They don't give a damn about you as long as you're kissing their ass, and even if you kiss their ass real well, you'll get thrown under the bus. Hey, both sides, to the extreme, they want a fall guy or somebody hanging over their word and kissing their ass, to be fair. So, to be blunt with somebody like this, you know what I mean? But to fancy yourself as a dictator, you'd have to indicate that you aspire somehow to have something behind you to enforce it, and that's pretty big talk, I think. But I can forgive it, even as blunt as I am. I can forget it because, hey, I was actually a smart-ass kid, and I used to say stupid shit too. And I rationalize it. I still think some of the same shit, but you get older, you think some of the same shit, but a revised version of the shit, and there's some stuff that you used to think that you don't think no more, or a better version of that kind of think, you know what I mean? You're just, sounds like a school kid, or if it's some grown-ass dude that is of a certain age, 20s, 30s, 40s, or almost my age or whatever, still living over the parents' house. Partially or sporadically employed or whatever the hell, and then, unless they have anything more articulate to say than to challenge any of my thoughts, then all I can do is make a smart-ass reply, but I don't have to take seriously any kind of... I don't really have to take it face value. I can take a grain of salt. Take it with a grain of salt. Excuse me. Something they say. Well, if I choose to do so, depending on the mood I am in, admit that I'm being too blunt, to be nicer to them without actually apologizing, you know what I mean? That's how I see this, you know what I mean? And I didn't mean to say this for be talking like this for 5 minutes, but give somebody else something a little to chew on about where my head is at. Maybe somebody looking at this will learn a little bit of something,